Without further ado, let's bring out the Steve I think you all are here to see.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs was a miracle. He invented most of the Apple modern technology like the iMacs. Steve Jobs was born in February 24th, 1955, San Francisco in California, in the United States, and he died on October 5th, 2011, Palo Alto, California, United States. Steve Jobs is a very inspirational man who worked in the design and technology department. Steve Jobs was the co-founder of Apple, and not just that, he also founded NXT, he was a team member at Atari, and he also worked at Pixar. Steve Jobs invented things like the modern-day iPhone, Retina display, iPod, and the Macintosh, and the iPad. The Apple iMac was introduced to the public in 1998, and its creative, innovative design was directly the result of Steve Jobs' return to Apple. Apple boasted, "The back of our computer looks better than the front of anyone else's." So here I have a story about why people think Steve Jobs is a great man. Here's the story. Imagine yourself in a meeting of 7 of the smartest veteran industry colleagues you know, people you respect. You're sitting around a table discussing a gnarly problem. Could be a technical issue, a user interface issue, a market issue, or any other various challenges. You throw an idea and argue for 45 minutes. There are better and worse options, but no good ones. Steve casually walks in the door and says, "What's going on?" He doesn't sit down. Someone, doesn't matter who, describes the problem. Everyone agrees with the description. After all, these folks are pretty good at clear and concisely describing a problem. Steve thinks for 3 or 4 seconds and says, "What about doing X?" You hear the idea and glance around the conference table. Jaws drop, literally. People sort of hate that they didn't think of that idea 44 minutes ago. But that reaction fades quickly. After all, it's not the first time. That would happen about every 6 weeks. A whole lot of bad can happen between those once every 6 weeks moments without you questioning whether it's worth it. After Steve Jobs had gotten cancer, Steve Jobs' views on the afterlife was a major motivator. In a speech at Stanford University in 2005, he had said, "Remembering that you're gonna die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." When he denied his Christian upbringing when he was 13 years old, according to Isaacson's biography, he later professed uncertainty as whether God exists. He admitted that as he faced death, he might be overestimating the odds of the desire to believe in the afterlife, wrote Isaacson. Steve Jobs was born in the Southern California, and his dad a Muslim Syrian immigrant and his mom an American woman. However, the couple put Steve up for adoption and he was taken in by Paul and Clara Jobs. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple after he quit the job in 1997, Steve Jobs became stronger and his ideas grew bigger. When Steve Jobs died 14 years later, Jobs left behind a giant and many questions. Could Apple pull off more miracles like the iPhone and the iPad? Would Tim Cook be more than a supremely competent operating executive?
Great.
Steve, thank you.
Everybody,
Thank
Steve
you very
Jobs.
much.
Thank you.